Hey everybody, this is Mike. I'm going to show you how you can use Vegas data within RotoQL. So Vegas data is present in the app within many different tabs. We're going to start with Insights, which is our player recommender tool. And Vegas plays a huge part in our insight scores. And with pitchers, you can see that projected team win, which is based on the money line. That's going to play a huge factor in who ends up with high scores for the day. And it's definitely important to take note when building lineups for FanDuel that Insights pitchers with a high projected team win are going to be really good plays for that platform because on FanDuel they give out more points for the win. So we definitely want to keep that in mind, especially FanDuel cash games, a high insight score and a high projected team win, plus a low expected runs. Those tend to be popular chalk plays, so also could be a great FanDuel cash game plays. So you have the projected team win here based on the money line. And then for hitter selection, whether you're looking at hitters, first basemen, or outfielders, we're going to have team expected runs as a factor within our insight scores for hitters. So which teams are going to score the most runs collectively? That's obviously a big factor in figuring out which batters are going to score fantasy points, and that is taken into account. So as you can see, a player like Jason Worth, the team expected runs is over 5, so that gives him a higher score than somebody like Adam Eaton or Trace Thompson, which is only expected to score around 4 runs. So that's how Vegas affects the insights data. Moving into the games tab, if you like building lineups through this page, especially stacking lineups or finding teams that you see as really quality fantasy options for the night, we have all of Vegas data within each game panel. So in looking at this Braves-Phillies game, you can see that we have the money line and the projected run set up here, so you can get a better idea of how the game is expected to go as Vegas predicted. So Phillies are predicted to win this game. Aaron Nola, pretty high priced, minus 171 money line, which is solid, but likely not the highest money line on the board. And he is projected to give up a little over 3 runs. So that's a pretty solid option. But at that price point, we may want to consider other Vegas favorites for pitchers. Also wanted to look at the over-under, which is right around 7. It's going to be a pretty low-scoring game here at Citizens Bank Park. So you can scroll through the Games tab, looking for a more advantageous option. Know that Jake Arrieta is playing later, so he is certainly an option from a Vegas perspective. Find it here. Here we go. See, Jake Arrieta is pitching, priced at $12,800. He's minus 202, which is pretty high for Chicago. And keeping in mind also the projected runs is at 2.8. Now 2.8 out with an over-under 7, that is stating that Chicago should have a decent run support for Arrieta as well. So that's sort of how you can interpret Vegas data through this page. Also want to take note of a bigger favorite, somebody like Steven Matz tonight. So Steven Matz at $10,500, a smaller salary than Arrieta, but his money line at minus 235, and the over/under at 7.5. So Vegas is thinking the Mets are going to take care of business here, and Nats should be a big part of that in getting a potential win. So this may be a good play if you're really relying on Vegas data in your decision making. Steven Matz, one of the higher tiered pitchers, but from a Vegas perspective, still a great option. So that's how you can look at how to choose pitchers. In choosing hitters, you're going to want to look at it the opposite way. So this Colorado-Pittsburgh game happening at PNC Park, unfortunately not at Coors, but in looking at Pittsburgh, projected to score 4.6 runs, and then you can juxtapose that projected run score with the salaries of some of the prominent hitters on that team. So looking at this projected run score, I can see John Jaso only priced at $3,500 at the top of the order. That's certainly somebody I would want to add into my lineups. And if you want to look at it from more of a team perspective, and you like Pittsburgh, considering that over-under, you can stack at the top of the order as well. So that's sort of how you can take into account Vegas data from games and matchup perspective. You can also use the Players tab, which is what I highly recommend doing now that projected runs is also featured within this section. And if you are subscribed to RotoQL Premium, you are going to have access to all of this data, including any projections that you're subscribed to as well. So I'm subscribed to all the projections, and I can filter out by whatever metrics I like, including Vegas data. So one thing I certainly like to do when looking at the top pitcher options, I'm going to filter out for pitchers that are predicted to give up 4 runs or less. So that automatically eliminates any pitchers that Vegas doesn't think that has a chance of getting a quality start. And then from there, you can sort by a slew of different stats. If you're looking for more of a tournament-based play, we would probably want to take out CC Sabathia here with his ceiling only at 26 points. For tournaments, you're definitely going to want to stick to guys who can hit a high ceiling or have the propensity to do that. So if I were to be building for a tournament, we can a little more from here and cut out Sabathia, and then look at other metrics such as strikeouts. Since we are looking at DraftKings, for example, may want to cut down on pitchers who are averaging at least 5 strikeouts in the last 10 starts. And we're left with this crew. Steven Matz, we talked about before. That's somebody that at his price I really like. You can see Garrett Cole playing at home against Colorado, only at 8,700. You see that he's got a pretty good value as well. So this is somebody that I like. If I was looking for cash game lineups, I would probably add in Arrieta. I think that would be a safe play, probably going to be high owned, but since I want to be a little contrarian to the pack, I'll go with Matz and Cole. So that's how you can use Vegas data to choose tournament pitchers. Let's look at hitters. So here we also have team projected runs, and you can use it in the opposite way, looking at hitters who are only favored to score, let's say, 4.4 runs, because there's a lot of similarity between a lot of the scores. Really cuts down on some of the options, and then from there, we have tons of new stats that you guys should check out. ISO, upside, downside. So definitely recommend checking all that out. From there, you can filter out by the matchups, lots of different options. So from here, if you're subscribed to multiple projections, you can also filter out by multiple sources. So I'm going to say I want players who have high projected runs and also have a projection of at least 7 points from DFS Guru, Baseball Prospectus, and Razzball. So that's going to give still a few choices. But I'm also going to look at some more low salaried options, playing at the top of the order. So guys, excuse me, gotta get less than 6. Still have several options available, but from here, let's take some of the lower salary players. Let's add all the players under 3,800. So I'm going to trust the projections to pick my studs for me. I'm going to add all of these players into lineups. Head over to favorites bonus. I'm going to make it only 2 points, so it doesn't get dramatically affected. You can see we have Garrett Cole and Steven Matz showing up in lineups, and most of these hitters filling out with a few the projections are favoring instead of my favorites bonus. So from there, that's sort of how you can build lineups with Vegas data. From here, definitely want to use player exposure if you're making multiple lineups, and then bring your lineups over to DraftKings and FanDuel.